Hi everybody, welcome back to B&C Retirement Adventures. Today I thought we'd talk a little bit about car maintenance. Why? Hey, without my car, there's not too much of an adventure for me. My number one mode of transportation is my car. Now that my legs aren't working as good and my lungs aren't as healthy as they used to be because of the COVID, which is what they think it is. We're not positive. But anyway, keeping a good running, maintained car is very, very important for a retired person, especially if all you have is one car. Now, back in the day, when I owned my apartment buildings and, had my regular 9-to-5 job and stuff like that, and the wife was working, we needed two cars. So, I had my truck, she had her car. Then we kind of flip-flopped. I had my truck, she had her truck. So you got to make sure that you keep the maintenance up on these vehicles so you can get from point A to point B and back again. So, number one thing I like to do is make sure that I never go under half a tank. Now, people have told me if you go under half a tank and get even lower, there is a chance that you can suck up some of that sediment that's in your gas tank that can clog the jets and stuff like that in your vehicle. I kind of tend to believe that, is probably possible. So, I hit a half tank, I go ahead and fill the car up. And then when the wife was driving, I'd make sure I'd fill her car up too. Now, I make sure that I do my regular oil changes. Do I do them once every 3 months? No. It's not recommended. The people that recommend your oil be changed in your vehicle once every 3 months are the oil company people. They want to sell that oil. Do you know the average car, especially nowadays, the oil change that is recommended from the dealer is usually 5 to 7 months, depending on how much you drive your car? So, if you want to get your oil changed every 3 months, and don't get me wrong, it's to me it's not a bad thing, because I used to do it. I change my oil religiously every 3 months. And then once every 6 months, I'd get that additive put in there that would clean out the jets and, any gunk and stuff like that was in it. So I honestly think that, the oil change that you do isn't going to hurt. It's only going to benefit. Now, I usually get a little bit upper grade on my oil changes just because it's supposed to be beneficial. I don't go full synthetic. I mean, come on, that's $80 for an oil change for 5 quarts of oil and a filter. Back in the day, yeah, you could change your oil by yourself, but nowadays, with the way they make these cars, they make them so you have to take them somewhere to get it done. But anyway, now the other thing I make sure I do is every time I take my car in for an oil change, most places will check your fluid levels, in your windshield washer, your radiator, your transmission, your brake fluid, and it's a good thing to do. Now, technically, you should check your oil every time you gas up. Do I? No. I'll be honest with you, I very rarely check my oil. Now, I do put windshield washer fluid in, and when I do, I'll usually check my oil at that time. I'll check my brake fluid, and I'll pop the radiator cap off just to make sure that, I can see the radiator fluid, and I'll pull a little bit of the fluid out just to see what the color is. Now, for me, a general rule of thumb, when it comes to maintaining my radiator, every other year I have it flushed and I have new fluid put in. Now, they say that you can probably go a lot longer, but that's just me. I want to make sure that I have good, clean fluid in my radiator and I'm getting it ready for the winter. Now, every time I take it in, I always go to the dealer. Don't ask me why. I just prefer to go to the dealer, especially where I bought my car. I feel like I'm getting better service. It might just be me, but I do. I feel like I'm getting better service. And I like the checklist that they go through. They will check my brakes. They will check my transmission. They will check my air conditioning. They will check my battery. They check my radiator. Basically, they do, I think it's about a 15 or 20 point check. You know, they check the air in your tires. Some of them, like where I'm at, they'll wash your car for you for free. Now, granted, it's only the outside, but hey, you get a car wash. So I usually take them up on that. Now, every time you hit one of your maintenance cycles, I think it's like maybe if you buy a car brand new, you know, if I buy a car brand new, my first 3 months, I automatically go and get an oil change after that, just in case there's a little bit of stuff that's in the engine that needs to come out because of the manufacturing process. So I'll go ahead and I'll do that after the first 3 months. But then after that, I usually go once every 5 months. And depending on how much I drive, I might only go once every 6 months. So that's giving me twice a year. But I like to make sure that my brakes are checked, my battery is checked, my radiator's checked, and that my fluids are all topped off. This way, if I have to hop in my car and I have to go somewhere, I know that just by having this stuff done at least twice a year, that my car is in good running shape. Now, granted, when I'm going on vacation and I'm going to be doing a long drive, say I'm driving from Chicago to Florida, I put my car in the shop and I tell them, this is what I'm doing. Do me a favor. I'm going to be driving a long distance. Change my oil. I want the car checked out to make sure that everything is in top form. This way I feel comfortable. Now, granted, there's a possibility that your car can break down, but the better you maintain it, the less likely that is to happen. So guys, in doing all this, you're a whole lot safer. Now, every time you go to a gas station, people say when you fill up your car, check the air in your tires. That's a good rule of thumb. I usually do it once a month. I should really do it more, especially during the summertime with temperatures changing back and forth. When that happens, your air pressure changes. Now, in my car, on my tires, it'll tell me exactly what the air pressure is on my tires. Now, I know I need to keep them at 36 pounds, and that's all tires all the way around. Now, they'll fluctuate a little bit, like, you know, maybe go down to 35, maybe go up to 37, 38. You know, as long as the tires are the same pressure and they're, to me, level on all four corners, they're good. I don't go too high and I definitely don't go too low. And again, in the wintertime, sometimes it's hard because you go to these gas stations, you try to use their air hose and the darn things are froze up. You know, so that's another important thing, taking care of your tires. Now, do you know a real good way to check your tires to make sure your tread is good? Not only just by going to the dealership and getting it maintained, but you can do it yourself. You take a penny and you turn that penny upside down to where Abraham Lincoln is going into the tread. If Abraham Lincoln's head is covered and you can't see it, your tread is good. If it starts to show his head, it's getting bad. If you can really see his head, I'm talking about it about a quarter, half an inch, or not a half an inch, but half his head, more than likely you're due for some tires, you know. And this is why every time I go and I get my oil changed, I get my tires rotated. So I'm getting even wear all the way around. And normally what I do is at least every 5 to 7 years, I change my tires out anyway. Because they get old, they just get wore out. They can get dry rot. So again, guys, a healthy car is a happy car. And a happy car is a happy Bob. Now, if you like the content of this video, do me a favor. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a big thumbs up. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And comment below. Let me know how you maintain your car. Maybe there's something that you do that you can show me that would make my car even better. So again, guys, do me a favor. Have a happy, healthy, and safe life. And we'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye, y'all.